All right, it's time to review for the test on Unit 8, which was on slope and the coordinate plane. All right, so we started with these ramps, right? And we learned that there was a thing called slope, and you had to look at the rise, and you have to know all this vocabulary, and the run. The rise is how much it goes up. So it's not just the length or the distance there, it's how much it goes up is 10, how much it runs to the right along the ground, and then you always simplify your slopes, and the slope of that ramp is 2. Then we went to the first quadrant, right? We have to find our good intersections. Once you find your good intersections, you want at least 3 of them so you can see that they're equally apart, distanced apart. You go to one, you go straight down from there, and then when you get even with another one, you go over and you make, that's a right triangle. This has a 90-degree angle here, okay? The angle is called 90 degrees. Those sides are perpendicular. Yes, they are. You can say that. All right, so the run here is 1, right? The rise, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you don't say 4, or you leave it 4 over 1 in the test, you're going to lose some points. I want you to simplify it to a slope of 4. Okay. All right, so again, you find 0, 6 is a good intersection, there's a good intersection, and there's our 3. All right, so we have 3, you pick any 2. So you go down and then even with the previous one. So the rise here is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The run is 5. The slope is 1/5. You could have done it here as well. You'll get 1/5 as well. All right, so that one there, let me get this out of the way, is horizontal, right? That's a horizontal ray. And so it starts at 6 and stays at 6. So the rise is 0. The rise is not 6. The rise is how much it goes up. And it doesn't matter what you put down there. The slope of every horizontal thing is 0. This one is going down. So let's use a different color. We have to find our good intersections. All right. We go down, same thing, same rule as the one with the red. You go down, and then when you get even to a previous one, you go over. The run will always be a positive number because we're run to the right. Right? This is going down and to the right. They always go to the right. But it's going down, and so it's not rising, it's going down. You can put the negative there or in front, but not at the bottom. And the slope of that is -3/2. Okay, so you have to know what quadrant is. There are multiple questions about quadrant. So where's quadrant 1? Quadrant 1 is there. The Romans used I for 1. Then it goes counterclockwise, the opposite of a clock. All right, this is quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. This is quadrant 4. You should also write this. In quadrant 1 is where both coordinates are positive. The x coordinate and the y coordinate are both positive. Quadrant 3 is where both coordinates are negative. Over in 2, it starts with a negative and then has a positive. In 4, it starts with a positive and ends with a negative. That's the pattern to the 4 quadrants. Okay, and then we're going to give all of these. Okay, so A is at 1, 4. B is at, right, you always have to go to X first. It goes X coordinate, Y coordinate, and this is called an ordered pair, right? It's like a pair of shoes. It's a left and a right, an X and a Y, and the order totally matters. So you have to put -8, 5. It's not whichever one is closest. It's X. First number always comes from X. C, so we have to get the -2 from X, then we get the -7 from Y. D is 3, -3. And remember, it's where the point is, not where the letter is. The letter can be anywhere near it. E is 0. You have to come down and get that 0 first, then the 8. F, we got to have -5, 0. And G is 0, 0. Right? Now, E, because it starts with a 0, you know it's on the y-axis. F, because it ends on the 0, you know it's on the x-axis. They are not in any quadrant, those two. All right? 0, 0 is called the origin, and it's on both the x and y axis. Oh, h, I forgot to do, is 9, 0, also on the x-axis. All right, so how long is Pn? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that makes sense because this point has a y coordinate of 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 more, 7 plus 4, for a total of 11 units. All right, you're going to be finding slopes. You want to copy this. This is up to you. But the rise here is 2. The run is 5. The slope is 2/5. Now it also says find the x and y intercepts. So what is the x-intercept? Is right there. It is a point that ends in a 0. The y-intercept is right there. It's a point, not a number, all right, that it's an ordered pair, and you can't abbreviate that. It's y-intercept that starts with 0. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, where they cross, they intersect, right? Where the x-axis and the line cross is called the x-intercept. Find the same three things. All right, this time we're going down 2 and over 5, so the slope is negative 2/5. And they cross both the x and y intercepts, cross the axes at the same time at 0, 0. All right, the slope of this one is 2/5. I'm 2/5 happy in this review. And this one is also 2/5, so the slope of both of them are 2/5. So what does that mean? Right, that means they are parallel from the last lesson. All right, let's find the slope of these. So the rise there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of them is 5/2. By the way, these were both 2/5. One of them is 5/2. The other one is negative 2/5, right? It's going down. So are those negative reciprocals of each other? That's what it's called, negative reciprocals. Are they? If they are, what are they? They are perpendicular. Make sure you can spell perpendicular. P-E-R-P-E-N-D-I-C-U-L-A-R. It's how it sounds, perpendicular. Okay, now, right, there is a third possibility. They could intersect at some random slopes, then they're just intersecting. Okay. All right, we learned how to find the slope, and you have to know this formula. You subtract your y's. How you say it is y sub 2 minus y sub 1. The y from the second point minus the y from the first point. What order I put those on doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter which one you make second and which one make first, but make sure you're subtracting y's coordinates for your top, for your rise. That gets you your rise. And then subtracting x coordinates for your run, and you have to go in the same order both times. And so this is 2 over 4, which you can't leave, it's 1/2, right? Fractions always get simplified. So again, I'm going to do, this time I'll do -1 minus -5 for my y coordinates. -4, since I started with -1, I have to start with -4. -4 minus 6. Go whichever order you're more confident about. So this is the same as -1 plus 5, which is 4. This is the same as -4 plus -6, which is -10, which you can't leave. And you can't leave that negative down there. This is -2/5. All right, so find the slope of a line perpendicular to the given. So we have to flip it over and make it the opposite, the negative reciprocal. We have to flip it over and make it the opposite, but we're not going to leave it that way, right? So it's going to be -7. We're going to flip it over and make it the opposite, right? It's called the negative reciprocal, and if they are the negative reciprocal, they have to be at 90 degrees. And they have to be perpendicular. All right, every horizontal line has a slope of 0. You have to know what a horizontal line looks like. Your floor hopefully is horizontal. Every vertical line, doesn't matter, has a slope I should just write that the slope equals 0. The slope is undefined. You need to know that word. It means that there isn't one, but you need to know what the word for isn't one is in math. Undefined. Oh, okay. I did both of them. Okay. So let's practice. The slope of all horizontal lines is 0. I'm actually just write 0. Okay. Slope of parallel lines are the same, always. Slope of all vertical lines is undefined. Vocabulary. Find the slope of the line between the points. All right, so I'm going to subtract the y's. 9 minus -3. -3 minus -8. So 9 minus 3, same as 9 plus 3, 12. -3 minus -8, same as -3 plus 8, 12/5. All right, you leave it that way. This one is 7 minus -5 for this line, which is 12, and 0 minus -5 for the x's, same as 0 plus 5. They're both 12/5. And what does that mean about these two different lines? All right, they were parallel. Okay. Good luck on the test.